Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, Bartosz Lipinski, founder of the Cube Exchange. Welcome to the pod, my man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
One of the sickest backgrounds we've ever had on the SGM podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, you need to go and check out this guy's setup in Chicago. It's absolutely electric. For the people that might not be familiar with the Cube Exchange, if you're living under a rock for the last couple of years, what is it exactly that you guys do?
Sure. So it's a new crypto exchange that I started about 15 months ago with the idea of building a better Coinbase effectively that cannot, steal your money or any of that. But at the same, it's just a better experience. So we built a couple of things. We built this decentralized network that secures assets using multi-party computation for custody. And on the front of it, we built one of the fastest exchanges out there.
Okay. One step back, what does that mean in layman's terms?
Sure. So multi-party computation is this complicated term that people like to use to confuse you.
Yeah.
And in crypto, there is a lot of that. But in the simplest terms is if you took a dollar bill and split it in multiple pieces, to spend it, you need more than half of it. And this is kind of similar situation where when you sign up for the exchange, the dollar bill actually doesn't exist anywhere. And there's parties that we call guardians that hold these pieces. And in order for you to spend money on the crypto exchange, withdraw it, trade, these people need to sign with you.
Okay.
So it's not just our servers saying, hey, you did this. It's this network of guardians.
Okay. So, and why is it so important to be faster than other exchanges?
Just how we build it. So every single piece of the infrastructure we actually built from scratch and optimize it for hardware. Everyone on the team is actually in Chicago. Yeah, and they are all experienced individuals from high frequency trading firms.
Okay.
Citadel, DRW, Jump, Opter. So those people have been building trading systems in traditional finance, some of them for more than 25 years.
Yeah, and I want to get into TradeFi a bit later because I mean, you've got an extensive record in that. But I want to talk to you about something that I read this week. It's saying that you guys are going to activate within 3 NFT communities by sweeping the floors. So what does sweeping the floors mean?
Sure. So it's just me going and buying with my personal money. So I'm not spending any investor money on buying NFTs. But what's happening, if you know some of my background, I actually created the NFT standard on Solana. So I have been excited for years about NFTs, and I believe in crypto, at least, NFTs is one of the better ways to build communities.
Yeah. Okay.
So me sweeping the community is effectively giving back to the communities and becoming more part of it. But at the same time, also saying, hey, Cube is a great partner for you as a community to potentially do more together in the future. But it's me starting with the first step of being actually part of the community.
So does that mean just going about and buying a whole lot of NFTs at sort of the most cheapest price?
It doesn't need to be most cheapest.
Okay, so it could be any price basically, but it's just it's your way of giving back to the community.
Yeah, but and becoming in an honest way a part of them. So I've been collecting NFTs for years. I never sold a single NFT. I still hold the ones that I minted in 2020, 2021, and things like that.
Old OG holder there. What are the communities that you're targeting?
there's a couple of them. I think we are super excited about Dead King Society, Boggles, and like others. I did buy a decent amount of NFTs before of DGOTs. So, there's Pudgy Penguin, love them.
Okay. So 15 months ago, you started Cube Exchange and you raised some funds. How have you used those funds? Like what did it go into?
Sure. So building a global crypto exchange is pretty tricky business and expensive. You need to hire a decent amount of lawyers to go and like comply with the regulation.
And lawyers are expensive. Lawyers are expensive.
You need to follow all those regulations locally, apply for the licenses, and be actually a good player in the industry. I think the last thing that we need in crypto is like more bad players. Marketing, I think, is pretty important. So like me being an engineer by trade, I try to actually approach it from like fairly realistic perspective, which is it's not like even if you build the best product, people will not come. Most people will never hear of it. So you need to market it, and you need to make sure that you build actually a good product.
Yeah. So that's the core focus, lawyers and marketing, right? So good advice there for any crypto startups. You talked about licensing and you're operating in multiple countries and you're actively seeking new licenses. How do you navigate that complex regulatory landscape? Because every country is different. So how do you go about doing them?
So it's a good thing and bad thing from like when I think about it. So a lot of people say like faster regulation is better. Like maybe complain like, hey, why does US doesn't have a like real crypto regulation? We should have it sooner. In my opinion, sometimes like regulating too soon might not be good. Because you want to figure out what is this thing actually about. I'm a big fan of like the sandbox environment where the regulators actually collaborate with the industry and learn about it before the regulation is just written. So there's it's a spectrum, right? Run global financial business is like outside of even crypto, even if you're starting fintech company, is hard. Because you need to interact with a lot of parties and regulation across the world is just vastly different. It could be as simple as like, hey, in some countries, the last names can be very similar. So like doing compliance there, maybe using a global startup is not the best idea. You need to use some. So it's like, and knowing that coming from US, you will not know that because it's like until you try it. But one of the reasons why I'm truly excited about crypto is I believe long-term crypto will just become a global finance.
Tell me which areas geographically are you looking at, if you can disclose that?
Sure. So like on the high level, we are super excited about South America, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, basically like developing portions of the world where crypto can actually make a difference.
Yes, that 100% makes sense. Let's talk a bit about your background in TradeFi. You've touched on it. And I went and looked at your LinkedIn profile and I thought, whoa, this is the probably the last person I would expect to be in crypto, seeing those industries that you were part of. What sort of traditional, for those people that I know might not know what traditional industries were you a part of? Let's go first. And what did you do there?
Sure. So I started in tech industry. I worked for Samsung Electronics, building a bunch of like electronic stuff. Like TV sets, stuff like that. And then went into finance and worked across a spectrum of asset classes, building trading systems in London, New York, and Chicago, which was super fun.
JP Morgan?
Yes, JP Morgan, BNP Paribas, Citadel.
So what went into that? And okay, this is, I see you guys. I'm going this way. I'm going from TradeFi to DeFi. What was that sort of
Sure. So
moment for you?
my journey in crypto is kind of like a weird one. First, I learned about Bitcoin and did personal Bitcoin mining in like 2010.
Okay.
When I was doing my master's in computer science, like there was a decent amount of like cryptography folks that were just interested in that.
Yeah.
So I knew about crypto from very early days. But at the time I was like excited about finance. So I actually lost all the Bitcoin that I mined at that time. Just by travel, like
Yeah. How much was
and
it? How much was it at that stage? Let's
like
not even think about it, because I mean, okay,
no regrets. I
no
should make that.
regrets. Yeah. I
Um,
love it.
but like I kind of like stayed just like observing on the sidelines what's happening
Yeah.
and like in finance.
Yeah.
And like part of it, like me coming from the like computer science and thinking of like of the crypto as technology, basically I always thought about it like that. Didn't think of it as an industry where I could work in. It's like when you're a technologist, you always think of it as a tool, right? Like more like a hammer where you can use it.
Yes.
And I think that's why I didn't make a switch. And the switch to crypto from traditional finance was super random. I left my job at Citadel right at the time when COVID was starting, and they had this like 12-month non-compete. So as people in COVID, I don't know, maybe you did that too. I started baking sourdough.
I wanted to say baking sourdough, but I didn't want to be that person, you know. But
so like,
sourdough bread was peak COVID, man. Peak COVID. Yeah.
So did a decent amount of that for like a month. And eventually my wife said, like, you know what, like maybe like stop using the kitchen. Because you're kind of messy.
She kicked you out of the kitchen. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
And I got connected with Anatoly from Solana and had really good conversation and basically started working for Solana Labs. Did a bunch of things. And once COVID was over and my non-compete was over, I actually liked it so much that I stopped viewing it as a tool that can be used somewhere as more a place that I can think of like home for my like, professional career. So again, totally random. We can thank coronavirus for that.
That's awesome. Where do you see the future of what you have to do there? Where do you see the future of hybrid crypto exchanges like Cube Exchange in the future?
So I truly think that like crypto exchanges are the best position to become potentially a global banks in the future. I think after 2008, all the banks that were trying to be global kind of stopped doing that. And now when you go to like developing countries like Argentina, Brazil, Nigeria, anywhere in Southeast Asia, when you ask people, hey, what do you use? Like frequently they will say like Binance or Coinbase, and this is where they store their money. And for that's the banking solution that lets them actually send money to their relatives and like just pay people. And that I think might be a new global banking solution that kind of crosses borders globally.
Yeah, especially if you look at the weak currencies. People also always ask me, why do these people adopt crypto? And I still tell them it's not because they want to, it's because they don't have another choice. The currency is so weak that they'd rather trade in USDT than for the Nigerian lira, whatever they use. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. And it's only going to get the currency is only going to get worse. So this position that they're using crypto is only going to get more and more, because I can't see anything changing in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
It's also easier to use, right?
Yes.
Like think of like, hey, I want to send some money to my family. Like sending crypto is much easier than sending a Swift wire transfer that takes days. and might not get there because some bank in between decides like maybe we should hold it because you didn't pay enough fees, and it arrives and it turns out it was like $500 in fees.
or like PayPal saying, sorry, you can't access your money.
Yeah.
Okay. Bartosz, thank you so much for joining me today. If the listeners want to connect with you and the Cube Exchange and find out more about what you guys do, where can they do that?
Awesome.
Oh, no, I said, where can they find you guys?
Sorry.
No, it's
yeah, you can. I'm always on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm active. You can find me there. The easiest way probably to just DM me.
We will always call it Twitter. It's not X, it's Twitter. And we'll put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. We'll catch you in the next one.
No constant conflict, your assets stay clear. Guardians in place, every trade sincere. We're breaking chains, our brains the game. From earth, ground to space, the thrill's the same. Trade with the stars, no fear, no shame. Cube exchange, we're making the name. There's a lot of pulse, through blockchain and flows. A metal layer 2 where the market glows. Off-chain speed with on-chain trust. In Cube we believe it's trade or bust. From Citadel's office to Lana's light, the Lipinski's vision takes flight. 9 million ways, we climb to new heights. 100 million strong, we're ready to fight. Guardians stand, protecting the game. Every transaction seals our fate. On this rock, our future's bright. Cube exchange to the edge of night. No cosmic conflicts, your assets stay clear. Guardians in place, every trade sincere. We're breaking chains, hybrids to gain. From Earth's ground to space, the thrill's the same. Trade with the stars, no fear, no shame. Cube exchange, we're making the name. Solana's bolts through blockchain and flows. A metal layer 2 where the market glows. Off-chain speed with on-chain trust. In Cube we believe it's trade or bust. Through blockchain flows. A metal layer 2 where the market glows. Off-chain speed with on-chain trust. Cube exchange, we're making the name. From Lana's pulse, through blockchain it flows. A metal layer 2 where the market glows. Off-chain speed with on-chain trust. In Cube we believe it's trade or bust. From Citadel's office to Lana's light, the Lipinski's vision takes flight. 9 million ways, we climb to new heights. 100 million strong, we're ready to fight. Guardians stand, protecting the game. Every transaction seals our fate. On this rock, our future's bright. Cube exchange to the edge of night. To the edge of night. Guardians stand, protecting the gate. Every transaction seals our fate. On this rock, our future's bright. Cube exchange to the edge of night.